Hey, Drew, I have a question. Trees that are literally made of money. Best or worst thing ever?
Well, deforestation is already a huge problem.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I already love where this is going.
Yes, this is perfect.
Deforestation is already a huge problem. And I think maybe if we start growing trees that are actually made of money, then we can divert it. So profit's just immediate right away.
Oh, that's amazing. That's the most Trump answer we've had so far. That's outstanding.
Well, follow me here. This way we don't have to cut down the rainforests. We can just cut down, like, Arizona.
I was going to say, cut down the houses?
Cut down the houses.
So people are investing, instead of investing in real estate, they're just investing in forests. So we now have tree people. This is the end of civilization.
And I love it. It's the best thing ever.
Best thing ever.
Let's
I'm
start the
happy to hear
show.
that.
Welcome to Worst Thing Ever. Wow, it's us.
It's us.
I am your best friend, Dylan.
I'm your worst friend, Drew, and we have a guest today.
I'm the guy that just hangs outside your apartment, Jeremiah.
We have with us
It's so glad we invited him in, and turns out he's really cool.
Yeah, we just-
musician and also creep.
Yes,
Jeremiah of
that's
Oh
it.
Jeremiah.
I'm full-time musician, half-time stalker. Just in their yard all the time.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, this is a podcast where we put everything into its proper place.
Categories of best thing ever and worst thing
Yeah,
ever.
it's either the best or it's either the worst. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And that's how logic works.
That's how logic works.
Jeremiah, who are you?
I am the guy outside your apartment, and I'm
Right.
also a musician. Me and my wife, we make up the band called Oh Jeremiah, and we're from Athens, Georgia, and we tour, and we just released our first album called The Other End of Passing Time.
Yeah, I
Nice.
love it.
And you were in Chicago literally yesterday.
We were in Chicago. We played at Shuba's, and we haven't slept very much. So you guys are so fuzzy and blurry as human people in front of me. But it's good to be in Nashville, I think.
Well, thank you for
Best
making
thing ever, Nashville.
Thank you for making the trek down in one day.
Yeah,
Do you need some coffee?
but
Do you need an energy drink? Yeah. For Loco, maybe?
I need all of those things. Wait, do you actually have
No,
them?
of course
Okay.
But I do have coffee for fancy boys up here, so
Coffee for fancy boys. I'm into it.
So, Oh Jeremiah, what would you say that your biggest musical influences are for, like for this project that you're doing?
The older I get, the less into newer music I get, and the more I'm into older stuff. Paul Simon would be my hero. Like if I had to move away from Civilization, I would take Graceland and only that. But I also really, really love Josh Ritter.
So good.
Yeah. I love Gregory Alan Isaacoff. Like songwriters that like have no commercial value, but like bleed over what they do. And
I love that you're really making a career out of this, then.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
I only like music that doesn't sell.
Yeah, I look at my wife every night and I just apologize profusely that we do this to each other. I still get like monster.com requests from everyone that I went to high school with. They see what I'm doing. They're like, this can't be working.
Yeah, you're like, dude, hey man, I just started a clothing company. Like, we need some people to run the shop. Are you sure you don't want to
for
move
sure.
back home?
Uber makes
I
more
can
sense
pay
to
you
me as a
$10 an
company.
hour, which is much more than you're making now.
There's no way you can handle anything more than $10 an hour. No, and that's really kind of true. But I love
choking up a little bit.
I love Bruce Springsteen. I love, but I'm a huge fan. Probably just as much as a musician. I love really good writers, and I love really really good comedians. So Mike Birbiglia is one of my heroes.
Yes!
Yeah. So Mike Birbiglia is like
seriously?
Yeah. No.
I
Like
love Mike Birbiglia. He's
Yeah.
one of my heroes.
Okay, so Mike Birbiglia is one of my favorite, not only comedians but like creative people in the world.
He's fantastic at telling stories.
He's a great storyteller, and no joke, my girlfriend's boyfriend made it easier for me to get married because I was really scared to get married. But and it's like you're laughing, you're crying. I think that any creative platform can do that. But and I also love like John Steinbeck and any other pretentious thing. Let me quit saying pretentious things and like it's good back to. But
We get it. You're a hipster and you're pretentious and you
Basically.
don't like things that people like. We get it.
if I can't grow hair, I might as well just like be cool, like be
Grow
way-
influences.
Yeah.
That's my main crop. No, I really identify with that because Mike Birbiglia is one of my biggest musical influences, and I've actually created an album made entirely out of just like chopped and skewed samples of Mike Birbiglia. It's called the Mike Birbiggest album ever.
Oh my gosh, that is so incredible.
The biggest album of all time. Yeah. It sounds very, very bad.
Oh, for sure.
But I did put like 20 minutes into it. So
that's good.
it's a passion
You're
project.
really efficient. That's a really
passion
good.
project for me.
That's a really short amount of time to do any sampling.
Well, I mean, it's only like. It's also only 20 minutes long.
And it's just 2 samples. You just put one bit and next to another bit and be like, I made an album.
I just loaded them into a drum machine and just like 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's perfect.
1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So okay, so Jeremiah, if you had to,
I was just waiting to see how long you were gonna run that for.
if you had to pick, who would you least like Jeremiah to sound like?
Who would I like as
Who
far
would you, who would you have to like? What musical artist would you look at and be like, honestly, screw those guys. We're not doing that.
Oh man, this could make me the most unpopular musician ever. Who do you not know personally? No, I'm just kidding.
I live in Nashville. I know
That's
everyone.
That's true. Who's
Even if
not
I
in
did.
Nashville or Chicago, because we talked about that earlier too.
Yeah.
I really, it's weird. Okay, so Justin Bieber is my answer, but it's really conflicting because I thought everyone agreed that we didn't like Justin Bieber anymore.
Oh, but then Purpose came out, and
then
Purpose is really
came
good.
out, and then I was the only one that was like, no, I've committed to not liking Justin Bieber. But everyone else is like, no, dude, he's like different now. To me, I'm still like, nah, that's the worst. I have such a hard time separating what they do in the media and then like then their music. Like I really think I could get behind Kanye at some point in my life, but he keeps messing it up for me. Like every time I think like, oh, that song is really catchy, and then the next time I turn on the internet, and then it's like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I just maybe that's a flaw in me. Maybe Justin Bieber's music is really, really awesome, but I'm like, yeah, I just want to punch him in the neck like really, really bad. Like,
I mean,
The neck is a very specific location.
I thought a lot about it.
with the Kanye thing, I will say this: you're kind of hitting a 50-50 split on the co-hosts because I'm in your camp on this. Well, Drew loves Kanye. I can't stand Kanye.
Well, one of the best things anyone has ever said to me about Kanye was our friend Paul. And I realize you don't know Paul.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell this story
Great
anyways.
guy.
Paul's a great guy.
Love
He's
Paul.
silly and clever, and I love him. And he only texts in caps.
Yeah.
All caps all the time. It's great.
I don't think I'd get along with Paul.
He has the social media presence of Tyler the Creator.
That's
amazing.
Yep, that's right.
But yeah, Paul one time he was just like, I used to not like Kanye because of like the things he says and how he acts, and then I realized I think you can't help it. And I think that Kanye just legitimately is just like, this is how you interact with other human beings.
This is how you emote and
And-
are. And
yeah.
I've never met, and maybe this is the most impressive thing about Kanye. I've never met someone that just kind of likes Kanye. I've met people that like hate him or they yell defending him and will die defending Kanye, which is actually like the most honorable thing you can do as an artist is create such a fandom.
Yeah.
But we played in Athens where we live, and I mentioned to my friend, I'm not a big Kanye guy. He didn't even start talking. He didn't lead to screaming. It began at screaming at me.
So just like, I'm not a big Kanye guy. What are you doing?
That's exactly what it. That was like, whoa, dude.
We have to break up as friends.
And I haven't talked to him since.
Like, he just stares at you silently, gets up off the couch and leaves, and you're like, I'm in your house.
I wish you knew how close to that actually is true. He shouted at us, said we just don't get it, and then left. And I don't know if he's still mad at me over Kanye. And Kanye's doing fine. He's doing great, man.
I'd say that's the best way to lose a friend.
I think so.
That's beautiful. I mean, like, I wouldn't yell at somebody, and I'm not going to get angry at anybody over Kanye, but I do like him.
Yeah. Well, you're the first. That's great. It's great to hear. I'm glad we did this.
All right, so we're going to hit up one of my favorite segments to do on this show.
This idea would make so much money.
It is best business ever. Otherwise known as AKA
Otherwise known as, also known as.
I.E. This idea would make so much money. So pretty much what we do is, and we're starting a new precedent because we paid $50 and we got a Wheel of Fortune wheel.
Yeah.
So we have...
You paid $50 for this?
We did pay $50 for this. We didn't want to make it ourselves.
Oh, I guess that's true.
So we got a little... I don't know if you can hear that. We got a little Wheel of Fortune wheel, and we have like 30 nouns written all over it.
And we're just going to spin this, and whichever noun it lands on, that's our noun.
And then we're going to spin it a second time, and then we are basically going to be making a business out of those two words that we're putting together. All right?
All right.
So,
Hit me with that first one. Give
Drew,
it.
you're going to go first?
I got a request.
Yeah.
Give this first one a hefty spin.
Okay.
A hefty spin.
Hefty spin.
Second one.
You are really pointing that finger close to my face.
Second one. Dylan, are you listening?
I'm listening.
Second one, I need you to give it a light, but
So, like,
momentous.
caress it like a gentle lover,
Yeah.
but enough to, like, at least move it a few pegs.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, we're going to go first one. Ready? It's so pretty.
That was a hefty spin.
It's rainbow.
It's
I love
never
it.
going to stop.
All right, the first
Lemur.
one is lemur. Okay.
This is only going good places.
Okay. Caress it like a gentle lover. You are my everything. Lemur belt.
Lemur belt.
Okay,
so the bad thing about
lemur belts.
the
How are we
bad
gonna
thing
make so
about
much money?
belts is that they never help me make any friends.
Oh, that's very true.
I have never had someone come up to me and be like, "That belt makes me want to hang out with you a ton." If you had a belt that was like Batman utility belt style, just decked out with lemurs, people are gonna be like, "Now this guy."
Oh wait, so this isn't a belt that's made out of a lemur. This is literally.
Oh no, that would
like-
be terrible.
Wait. So it's like what is that game called? Like bucket full of monkeys.
I'm my own
bucket of
walking
monkeys?
zoo. Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it like one very like long lemur that's constantly hugging your pelvis, or is this like a?
I think
is
it's
this-
like
that one's-
lemurs
that
like
one's good too.
hooked on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a regular belt, but lemurs are just kind of attached to it,
Nice.
and we'll find a way to attach them humanely so that they're not getting hurt.
Oh,
but they
good.
are
That
just
was my next
chilling
question.
there and just kind of like wriggling about.
It's a really great thing. I would assume it's a really great thing, to wear to parties.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's an
Oh,
instant
yeah.
icebreaker. Like you walk in, you're just like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And they're just like, "What is on your? What
people-
is that?" And you're like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of
The
lemurs."
main thing-
And then they have to be like, "Do we call animal control or do we pet them?" And I hope most of the time it will be pet them and be excited about it.
Sorry,
Siri, what are you doing?
Siri's trying to get in on this interaction.
But you might get a few animal controls, but that's part of the fun.
It'd be really
adds to the
great
story.
if it had a button that when you pushed it, it sang the "I want to be like you ooh ooh" from the Jungle Book.
And then they all just dance.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing.
Like in coordination.
Yeah, I think that's an important aspect of the lemur belt that
I
I would
would
have
agree
to
with
get back. So whenever it goes to Kickstarter, like I would get that function. Like I would get that reward to get the lemur belt.
Yes.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well,
And
the
it-
toughest thing about networking parties is like making an impression and just being remembered. Everyone's going to remember Lemur Guy.
Yeah. Well, then, like that could be basically your brand. Yeah, we had a friend, or excuse me, we still have a friend. He's great. His name's
Now that
Oliver.
he knows that you have lemur belt fetishes, he's not your friend anymore, brother.
We don't talk about that. No, we got a friend. His name is Oliver. He's awesome. Oliver Risch. If you're listening,
Go
hi.
to extremerestraints.com and get your own lemur belt.
Right. But Oliver, our freshman year, we've known him for a long time. He created a personal brand. He was known as the bow tie guy because he
Yeah.
wore a bow tie and suspenders every single day, and like
Right.
that was like he did that very on purpose. He was like, I want a personal brand. I want people to know me even if they've never met me, and he succeeded. So I feel like this would be the same thing where people were like,
Yeah.
Jeremiah, he's like the lemur belt guy."
Lemur
It's very interesting to me that you went from bow tie to lemur belt and said that's the same thing.
the same thing.
That's very interesting that you consider those two things the same.
Conceptually equivalent.
It's the exact same thing. Wow, I'm learning so much.
Plus, I feel like you could really market it, to that very
Wait, no.
socially conscious. All right, hit me up. Go.
12 lemurs wearing bow ties.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and spin now that I've dropped the bomb.
All right.
Step by
Step by
The next one, step by step.
Step by step.
Washcloth.
Step by
by
step
step
washcloth. That sounds like a regular washcloth.
It really does.
Sounds like it was dry and now it's not anymore.
This is the first good business idea
Yeah, I
we've
feel
had
like-
on the show.
I feel like this is the only one that makes any sense with this combination of words. So a step-by-step washcloth
Step-by-step
exists. It's doing pretty well in the marketplace, I think. I think it was on QVC. They bought some. I think we
First,
did
we
it.
got to get the
You know-
ShamWow guy to.
Yeah.
I feel like what it is actually step by step washcloths. So do you guys remember those things that we used to play with a lot as kids? And I say we, maybe just me. But like they'd be these little balls of like plastic and cloth, and you drop them into water, and they would like slowly expand, and then by the end of it, it would be like a dino or something like that. I feel like it would be like that, but a washcloth. So you have like little washcloth Tide Pods.
Oh
and
wait,
you
I
just
know
pop
exactly.
'em in,
I
and
know
they
exactly
go
what you're talking about. So yeah, so
then you got a
first
towel.
step, it looks like a sugar cube. You drop it in, and then it expands into an actual washcloth.
Yeah, or even like a towel. So it's like you can take like 6 towels in your pocket to a pool party, and then you just throw them in, and then I just realized they'll be wet, so then they're useless.
Yeah, so then they're useless. It's a terrible idea.
The other option
This is an
here.
awful idea.
The other option here is some kind of like American sitcom step-by-step branded washcloth. So you got like Patrick Duffy just like smiling at you on this.
Patrick Duffy?
Off of Step by Step, of course, everyone's favorite sitcom.
I've never even heard of this.
What is this sitcom that you know of?
I don't even have time to explain it to you. So you just got Patrick Duffy smiling up on you, beautiful silver hair, and you're just like, Patrick, got a big mess, and I know you're the big solution.
That's great. I love it. And also going back to the cute, like just fold them. Like you don't have to keep them. You can just fold the washcloths. Like,
That's true. So I guess the step would be unfold the
Yeah,
washcloth.
I feel like that's a pretty perfect design as is. I don't want to monkey with what's already working.
So who's gonna buy our products here?
Experimental moms.
Experimental moms.
That's a great band name.
Oh man, so I'm gonna go off a bit of a tangent. One of my favorite podcasts is the podcast Startup.
Okay.
Which if you've not listened to it, it's amazing, even if you're not into business. It's Alex Bloomberg and Gimlet Media. I'm not gonna get into it. It's super good. But in later seasons, there's this one band that makes all of their music, and it's an amazing band name. Do you want to know what it is?
No, I'm totally disinterested.
So we're going to move on then.
I'm done.
No. Hotmoms.gov is literally the band name of this band, and it's amazing.
That's incredible.
The commitment to be creepy your entire band's career.
Because
even if the band dissipates, like you have to live with that fact forever. I was in a band called hotmoms.gov.
My biggest...
Yeah, and they also apparently don't have the URL hotmoms.gov.
Wow. But just no foresight.
Yeah,
That's
not at all.
The biggest regret in my life, honestly, is that Paul, who we mentioned earlier, Paul and I, a couple years ago, were going to start a funk band called Hot Dad.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
We made 8 bars of music, and to this day, it is like the freshest 8 bars I have ever been a part of crafting.
The freshest.
Never went anywhere beyond those 8 bars.
So, like, you'll randomly open up a project, and you'll look at that and you'll be like, wow, I peaked in sophomore year of college. It will never be better.
I'll never get better. That's outstanding.
All right.
All right. So, hey, I got another thing I want to hit.
Yeah.
So we actually got a thing in the mail. And Jeremiah, I think you'll be really into this.
I like mail.
I want to...
Yeah. We got this thing in the mail.
I'm going to interrupt here real quick.
Okay, sure. Go for it.
We may have gotten this in the mail. And I'm not, like, confirming or denying anything about this, because, like, if we did, it would be illegal. That'd just be crazy. So I'm not saying this happened, but there's a possibility that we got mail for a previous tenant of the house we're in right now.
Oh, so like this is like low key telling the entire internet that you jacked someone else's mail?
No, we wouldn't do that.
Okay, no, we didn't do that. It's just
What kind of men do you take us to be?
There is a parallel universe in which it's possible that we got this mail for another human being that we did open and read. And
as long as it's just a parallel one, then I'm
when
comfortable.
Dylan explains what it is, it makes sense that hypothetically we could have thought maybe we should open it.
Great.
Right. So what this hypothetical thing is,
It's called The Hump.
a booklet called The Hump, issue 3.
So like you got no context for episodes 1 or 2.
No context for issues 1 and 2.
You know it's at least a trilogy.
We're getting in the
It's at
game
least a
late.
trilogy.
Wow.
So this is
How amazing if you like could learn the prequels later and like
Yeah.
fill in all the holes in the plot.
All the story holes.
It's
Exactly.
like it's like seeing Aragorn take the throne of Gondor again, being like,
Being
"Well,
like,
I don't know
what
how we got
happened?"
here."
So
so-
was it wrapped in it? Because I can see it now and it's
Yes,
it's
it's
blue.
a booklet.
There is a camel on it. It says The Hump. How could you not have opened it?
Right.
So I don't fault any
Yes.
parallel universes.
Yeah,
that would-
Right. Well,
Okay.
but I mean, we didn't actually open it.
Of
Once
course
again,
not.
we're just
That'd be
telling a
crazy.
we're just
Oh,
telling
right,
a story.
right.
We're thinking like if we had gotten this, we're just gonna do some dramatic readings of what would be
Yeah.
in this booklet
Because
if it existed.
I would like to point out that if this book existed, it would be promotional material from Camel cigarettes. And it would be basically stories of different pieces of art that make smoke in some way. And I think it would be fun if we were to read these stories in such a way that, maybe we do them right.
I think
Do
that sounds.
justice.
I
We
think
do
that
them
sounds
justice.
wonderful.
So I'm gonna do one right now. I'm getting into my character.
Wow, the lights got turned down too. I wish you guys could have seen this.
It's super weird that you have a robe now.
This one is called Inner Nimbus.
Is that a real word?
Inner. Oh my god! Inner Nimbus. The inner space Nimbus. It's 2 words.
Okay, great.
Okay. Convertibles. Palm trees. Eggs Benedict. You name it, with a sharp imagination, clouds can be many things. But one thing we know clouds will never be is under a roof. Wait a minute. Dutch artist Bernadette Smilde, I have no idea if I pronounced that right, Bernadette Smilde is shredding everything you know about
Whoa,
precipitation
Bernadette.
by actually, and this is in all caps, actually
Take it step by
make
step.
it inside clouds.
Bernadette, take it step by step. I can only handle so much change to laws of physics at one time.
This just sounds like glorified vaping.
Look at the picture.
That looks
Basically,
like-
it's
it-
basically glorified
Yeah, we've
vaping.
already figured it out, Bernadette.
Yeah.
Come
So,
off your high horse. Your
right.
high camel.
all right, I'm gonna keep going.
I can't.
Nature meets sculpture through temperature-controlled and misty perfection. Smilde seems to be using
perfection.
more than just his imagination to get these wonders down to eye level. I mean, is it real?
Yes, it's called vaping.
Well, believe us, they're real. So real they stick around for just a few seconds before they vanish forever.
Into vapor.
That's the power of nature and imagination, my friend. I would like to point out that they only stick around for a few seconds, and that's not impressive.
Yeah, not at all.
No, that's not impressive at all. They say that like this is this amazing
the
accomplishment
peak
of science. Science, and it's not.
This is the new Eggs Benedict. I'm blown away personally.
Convertibles, palm trees, Eggs Benedict, you name it. What? What is the connection between these things?
That's some killer marketing right there.
That's pretty outstanding.
Apparently all those things can be clouds. All right.
Is it me?
Yeah, let's give
Okay.
you a shot.
Wow, this is my favorite pamphlet I've ever held. I think.
I'll give them this. It's really well put together as
Oh
far
my
as the
gosh.
design.
Okay, this is me.
What's the title of
It's
it?
called Pits of Fury. So
This sounds like the fan fiction I
the
read in
best-
high school.
I think the best thing about this is that the Pits of Fury, all it is a bleeding watermelon. That's all that I see. It's like a watermelon that is oozing some. It reminds me of the Power Rangers for some reason. I don't know. So here we go. The use by date is so relative, people. Until your fruit goes foggy.
What?
I don't even want to keep going. This makes me so uncomfortable.
Nah, I'm not feeling this tangerine. It's like super foggy.
So, okay, back in my zone. Artist Masiek Jasik is taking over your neighborhood farmers markets to make wicked clouds from fruit guts. Let's
Wicked
dissect
clouds,
his
man.
process, shall we? The beauty of any art form starts with its scale. It's the size and shape of the fruit that counts. Jasik prefers the rounder produce, which is honestly almost all produce.
This is like an ASMR video.
I just want to see how quiet I can get in the mic. He then begins to make small incisions into his canvas. This is just Fruit Ninja. That's what this is. This is just Fruit Ninja, but like
Fancy Fruit Ninja.
that's it. Obviously, any more than a few cuts will yield him fruit salad, which can be beautiful too.
We're just playing games with the gate processor on this.
We are.
Finally, just add fog. This step is pretty mysterious, but we sure like how it looks.
Snaps. A poetry reading by Jeremiah Striklin.
That felt good. It didn't even rhyme. It wasn't even really a poem. It was just like a weird way to cut your fruit.
Yeah. And I guess put fog inside of it. Let me see the picture. Yeah, it's just basically just got fog in front of it.
Yeah, it's like
Okay. All right, Drew, hit us up. What's yours called?
ellipses. I think.
No, wait, hold on.
Oh, it's on a previous
there.
page. Linear distortion. That sounds like a noise band.
It does sound like a noise band.
Geek. Nerd. Smarty pants. Okay. Thanks, Camel. I get enough of this in real life.
You get the mean one.
I get enough of this in real life, let alone from you, taking me back to middle school. This sucks. Geek. Nerd. Smarty pants. This techspert has been called many things, but he'd prefer artist. Thank you very much.
Oh, no.
You're welcome.
Joshua Davis, part man, part motherboard, is using cucumbers, is using his computers to recode art. Using a simple, just kidding, extremely complex program, mad computer scientist.
Oh, no.
Which, first off, that's a great profession. Profession.
Yeah, what do you do? Oh, I'm a mad computer
Well,
scientist.
I created a Frankenstein AI. I just took the worst bits and pieces of all the other ones, you know, all the racist parts of the other AIs, and just made one really bad one.
What is this pamphlet promoting?
I don't know. Cigarettes?
Maybe.
I guess. The future? Yeah. The future!
A really terrible future?
The future! Lung cancer!
That's outstanding. Look at his. Yeah. Okay. The people listening can't see this, but I just keep looking at the cover, and it's just a camel, and I just don't understand how any of this connects. I'm just learning so
Well,
much.
The hump.
It's us overcoming the hump of the present, which, as we all know, sucks.
So we're having
Can't
a
wait
future
to get
that
out of
also
it.
sucks and is apparently full of smoke in some way.
Mad computer scientist Joshua Davis has turned a swipe of your mouse into a colorful masterpiece. Each gallery-worthy painting is broken down into a series of codes that is repeated over and over again until it generates some sort of kaleidoscopic spectacle. Spectacle. Wow, great job with these words, Drew. This type of digital detail begs to be looked at for hours. The question that keeps arising is, why oh why didn't I pay more attention in computer class? The thing is, I'm still not entirely sure what this guy does.
I didn't learn it.
Even though I can see the picture in front of me, like I don't know what he does at all.
Something with
fractals. Like,
fractals.
We're both doing a bad job. Fractals.
Radio professionals. Pick us up, NPR. This is what you're missing. This is what you should expect. Something with computers and fractals, and that's all I need, really.
So, Drew, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is the best or the worst hypothetical felony that we've ever committed?
This is it's certainly the funniest.
It's true.
I feel like you're saying that we've done other felonies. Oh, it's not the best or the worst, but it is
I'm
the
not
funniest.
saying anything. I'm just saying if we did this one, it would be the funniest. I do want to note on the subject of vaping, and I've already told both of you this story, but I'm going to say it again. I was driving to a craft store the other day, and when I got into the parking lot, I just saw this guy walking out of the store, vaping like it was his last hour on this green earth.
Which, if you're vaping, it very well may be.
Oh, God. Drew is physically shaking.
And this is what it was like. And he was walking, and I was like, calm down. This is...
So if you have...
I'm shedding my corporeal form tonight. I gotta get more of this sweet, sweet flavor juice inside me while I still can. Let's get down to the meat of the episode.
Yeah.
All right, man, the way I just said meat, I'm not a fan of. I feel very uncomfortable by my own voice. Anyways.
I just meat as the episode, like...
Yeah, it's not a great word to
what
describe
part of
anything.
the animal have we been dealing with up until now? Is my question.
The pelt.
Just the pelt. Now we're like... We're really... Man, the more we work with this analogy, the more it's...
The grosser it gets. We're going to leave this analogy go. What question you got for me, man?
Dylan,
Yeah.
what's the best location for a family reunion?
Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Give me a sec.
Aside from the Oregon Trail, which, like, a lot of your relatives would die along the way, so, you know,
So I was
lose a
gonna
lot of
say-
them would be a big relief.
So I love my family. which I have to say because my mom and dad listen to
I'm
every
contractually
episode.
obligated.
Contractually obligated by birth to say. I actually do love my family. But
Why are your fingers crossed?
Why did your eyes just roll back?
why are
Your
you
eye
being
is twitching a lot. It's really strange how much it's twitching.
No, but the thing with family reunions, they can be pretty uncomfortable, especially because you got to spend a lot of time with people you don't really see that often, and so fights can happen, and some people are more interesting than others, and stuff happens. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of thinking, you got to figure out some way to either
That's a 1.
be in a place where you don't have to talk that much and you can easily disappear, or 2, prove your skills at how great you are so that everyone wants to talk to you because you're so great.
Oh, true.
Okay,
So rise above it or escape.
So I have 2. Yeah, so rise above it.
That's
or
how I feel about life.
exactly. So I have 2 options basically for you guys.
Okay, I
so
like
the
this.
escape option is the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, and the reason for that, other than the fact that it's interesting and lovely and I love it and it's amazing, you should go to the Met. It's great. Is that it is massive. It's so big. I went there for 4 hours and got through about a fourth of it.
I didn't know it was that big.
It's huge.
Wow.
So, it's massive, and it's so easy for you to just slip away into the night. And by into the night, I mean into a medieval art section.
Into a weird installation that you walk inside of and then move some chairs around.
Yeah, exactly. And then 2, you got to be quiet because it's a museum.
I can't imagine my family
you
getting...
can't really talk that loud, and so there's not that many people who are going to be able to be loud and annoying and obnoxious, and it's great.
I think that my family thrives on loudness, as a whole. So I don't know.
So does mine.
So it's really, the question is, would you rather be kicked out of the Met and do your family reunion in the lobby of the Met, which is exactly what my family would have to do, probably.
That's true, because the lobby of the Met is very loud.
Yes,
and very rambunctious.
Yes, and I don't assume the lobby has anywhere you can go. So I don't think I'd call the Met the place that I would do it.
Okay, well then I got a second option for you. Okay,
good.
So this is if you want to prove your skills.
Great.
So if you want to prove your skills, I would say the best place to have a family reunion at would be at a LARP competition.
What is a LARP competition?
You don't know what a LARP... Wait, what? Oh, come on.
That's really good.
You are not a cool... You're not a cool nerd, man.
Thank you.
Give me back that hip shirt and that shaven head. You don't deserve it.
Wait, what is
Hold
it?
on, let me find this again.
What?
Geek, nerd, smarty pants. Apparently things that Jeremiah's not called.
So wait, are you saying
So
LARP?
LARP is live action role play.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
Of all the things that could have stood for, that is not what I expected you to say.
So live action role playing, or LARPing for short, which is a
LARPing?
terrible name. LARPing.
LARPing. Okay.
Is basically where a whole bunch of people get together and they dress up kind of like medieval knights and plunderers and bandits and whatever, and they all have foam swords.
And just go at it. Just have a battle.
And they just go at it. Yeah, they just hit each other with swords, and there's I guess there's technically rules and there's judges and stuff.
This would be great because you would impress your whole family.
It's true. I mean, especially if you conquered the LARP competition, you're going.
Yeah.
You just have blood in your eyes.
But
You have a serious bloodlust, and you were just chopping off fake legs and fake arms with your fake sword left and right, and you were hitting people with your shield, and you're throwing your shield like Captain America, and they're like, you can't do that, it's the Middle Ages, and you're like, shut up, and you do it anyway, and you're actually hurting people, and your family is just like, I'm so glad
I'm so proud
I spent
of you.
$200,000 on college for you.
And the whole time they're like, I don't even recognize Dylan right now, and you're like, that's because I'm not Dylan right now. I'm Xanacles.
That's a good name.
That's my LARP name.
That's a great LARPing name. So I have a question. If you're LARPing at your family reunion, are you competing against family, or are you...
Ooh, good question.
So to me, if you're competing against family, it's a really good time to get out some past aggression.
Yeah.
That's a good
From
point.
the time you didn't come to my birthday party or whatever, and you can whack them with a foam sword. That sounds great. If you're on a team with them, that's a quick way to unveil some deep-rooted issues. You missed the javelin, remember that time that you didn't, pay for my college, whatever. That would happen like so quick.
That one time you didn't pay for college, man, that sure was annoying.
Yeah.
Remember that time you missed convincing me that I should love you more? Anyway.
Remember that time you missed the birth of my daughter?
Yeah. That's perfect LARP fodder.
Wife? That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't.
You weren't there for me.
She phoned it in. That's amazing.
She totally phoned in that birth sequence.
I think I'm sorry to interrupt this segment, but you talking about the Met just reminded me of a moment from my past that is very, very embarrassing for me.
Okay, sure.
And this is, of course, when I went to the Chicago Museum of Contemporary Art. So my sister lives up in Chicago, and I was visiting her, and one day while she was at work, I decided to go to the Museum of Contemporary Art.
As you do.
As with any Museum of Contemporary Art worth its salt, it has a lot of interactive fixtures, like you walk inside of a hot air balloon, and like you sit on some boxes and stuff, all kinds of zany stuff like that. They had this jazz exhibit going on that I was really excited for, and I walked up to this one installation that was just an alcove of speakers in front of some stools. And I was like, I study audio engineering. I know how this works. This has a stereo feed going on. You sit in different places, you hear different parts of the song. I'm so smart. So glad I figured that out.
Yeah.
So I walk up to this installation, and I start to sit down on one of the stools. The first thing I notice is one of the people from this couple behind me just going, oh God.
Oh, I hate where this is going.
You look really alarmed right now.
And then I notice that my butt is cold. Then I notice my butt is not just cold, it's wet. And I look down, and to my surprise, this is not a stool. This is a well of ink. And there is black.
Joe, you look so amazed.
And there is ink. This is a real story, the legitimate Chicago Museum of Contemporary Art. There is ink overflowing out into the museum now, getting all over this installation.
I feel like this is a stress dream I've had like several times.
And my first thought is like, I have to tell my sister that this happened, and she's gonna make fun of me.
She does.
So
your sister Dylan is very sassy. Your sister, who's also named Dylan, is very sassy.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah. So the guy that was like, oh God, was like, no one saw, so I think you're good. I'm like, no, I'm not good. There's ink everywhere, and it's all over me. Clearly, I'm not good. So I go up to the security guard. I'm like, I thought that was a chair, but I definitely know now that it's not. And he just goes, you didn't.
Oh, no.
And he calls all of the other security guards down and the curator. And the curator's standing there taking pictures with her phone, looking super stern. And I'm freaking out. And I go up to her, I'm like, what do I need to do? I'll help clean this up. Whatever you need me to do. And she's like, oh, you're good.
That's
cool.
This
is pretty funny, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
how thoughtful.
The security guard that I initially went up to thanked me.
Why?
He said, this is the greatest molestation of art I've ever seen. Thank you.
See, I love because that implies that he's seen other molestations of art.
That's true.
And he was just like, yeah, the artist name, I should at least credit her.
Yeah, for sure. Since she ruined her life.
Is Lily Renaud Douar. And he's just like, yeah, she's this French artist. She's super cool. She'd probably think it was funny. So
she's probably a chill bro.
On one hand, I'm sorry. But on the other hand, I have a theory that all great art gets ruined. You know, I'm talking about like the Egyptian sarcophagi. They got the noses chopped off of them so that they wouldn't look like they weren't white people. True story. And then like in the Vatican where the penises got chopped off all the statues there in every painting in every war.
Wait, what about the Mona Lisa?
It's on its way.
Okay. So it's not great art yet?
It's not great art yet, but someday.
I've got some faith in it.
It's probably been stolen at least. So all great art gets stolen or ruined.
So I think that
So-
you do your part.
Yeah,
you
I did my part, and I helped. Man, I feel so bad now. I'm basically saying
You're justifying your terrible.
I'm justifying my terrible thing, and I also just realized that I'm saying that I'm the reason that this female artist made a great So I'm going to redact that and say that she is a great artist in her own right, and I have no part in that. And I apologize for any unintentional sexism of that joke.
So going off of that, off of your blatant and horrifying sexism.
Yeah, that was.
What would you say?
It wasn't my most pristine moment.
What would you say is the worst location for a family reunion?
Worst location for a family reunion would probably be your house, which is now a Pokestop.
Oh,
and your
yes,
younger
What a great thought. I can't imagine a worse place to be. I think
your younger cousin Robbie has just thrown down a lure because he's bored. So now you've just got some random neighborhood teens just like walking inside your house, watching your copy of Deep Impact and eating all your cheese dip.
I being like, yo, is there a Pikachu in here? And you're like, no.
These are my drowsies. I get to catch them. I know there's infinite, but
I want everyone.
But I lay claim.
I wonder, like, how many of your family members, like, as a ratio, actually play Pokemon Go?
Ooh,
I think because to me, if it was a Poke,
no.
yeah, I think for me, if my house became a Pokestop, I don't think it would affect us. Like on any way, I don't think we would notice.
Well, except for all of the teenagers who'd be walking in, watching your copy of Deep Impact and eating your cheese dip.
Yeah,
I guess so. I guess that
makes,
always
happens to me. I don't know about you.
True. Sounds like Friday. Just every Friday to me. That's perfect.
What do you think, Jeremiah? What's the worst?
The worst place for a family reunion would have to be a funeral.
Oh no! Oh no!
I suppose that checks that.
I think because isn't every funeral a little bit of a family reunion?
Yeah.
See, feel it. Sit in the sadness.
I guess like you're actually really right. That is a really bummer family reunion.
And it's always weird when it gets like everyone starts making jokes and you're like, oh
yeah,
no.
Tim would have laughed at that joke.
That's cold. I have a thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. I know it's weird. I don't have them very often.
Good work.
You've grown.
Thanks, man.
We all grew as a team.
I'm proud of
Now
you.
Teamwork.
We're a stronger unit together.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
There's a lot of high fives involved in this episode.
So what if you had a family reunion at a funeral, right? But it's someone else's funeral. Like it's someone who's not in the family. And you're just like planning this family reunion and be like, yeah, so, Tim from down the street died. And, we needed an excuse to get together anyway. So we're going to bring some queso. We're going to bring in a party band if anyone wants to come.
That would be a very emotional roller coaster, I think. Like it would be a very particular, like, you would have loved him. I know you don't really know him. Like, but
I really feel like...
And Betty's trying to like give you smooches in front of the casket. It's a problem.
Or like the venue's trying to make rent, so it started double booking its space. So on one half you've got the funeral, and on the other half, you're like everyone's
switching
doing
sides.
The Cupid shuffle.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like you're switching sides. Like, dude, that last funeral was such a bummer. Like,
dude, that party sucks.
That's great.
They don't even have the cheapest wine. The cheapest wine over.
Buried in a cardboard box. Can you believe it?
Guys, could you believe it? God, it's the worst. All right. Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew.
Okay.
So I recently have been listening to a lot of
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen. Yeah. I actually weirded out that you knew that I was going to say that.
Yeah, that was wild.
We live in the same place, and I know your habits.
I know. So I've been listening to a lot of Carly Rae Jepsen because I honestly love her new record so much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
you just cemented that into a podcast.
I
That's
did.
Very
I love
brave
her new
of you.
record. It's my favorite pop record of the last year.
I have to hear it. I only know. I'm learning that she has more than that one song. This is great.
More than Call Me Maybe,
Yeah,
which is like a C at best.
I think it's a jam. Anyways.
God, you Carly Rae fanboy.
I have so much back catalog of Carly Rae Jepsen. Then, if
I
she
mean,
has
only
more than that one
she
song,
has 2 albums.
she has 2 albums.
That's
okay.
it. Just the album that one song is on, and her new album that's actually really good.
Well, if you compare it to thinking she has the one song, learning she has 2 whole albums is like really
man,
impressive.
I got my work cut out for me.
I gotta go diving into that.
But yeah, so her new album, was produced by a lot of really, really fantastic producers. One of the guys who produced Vampire Weekend, a bunch of other indie
One of my
artists.
favorite bands, yeah.
Yeah, so good. But it's really 80s inspired, 80s music inspired. It's kind of like 80s and today came together and made a baby, and also just put in some like just sweet jams, you know? So I've been thinking recently, because I've been listening to this and it's just been horrifyingly stuck in my head. What is the best 80s song that gets stuck in your head constantly?
I mean, the obvious answer is Highway to Danger Zone.
Ooh, yes.
Danger Zone.
Anyways, if that song didn't exist though,
Okay. So we're in a new hypothetical universe.
Yeah,
where,
Where they get the hump.
so
and
Top Gun
the-
just didn't happen.
we're really getting into string theory in this episode. We're in
Okay.
another alternate dimension now.
Okay, gotcha.
In this dimension, that song doesn't exist, and it's of course the DuckTales theme song.
Oh, what a jam! Are you doing this?
Life is
Okay.
like
Oh,
a
he's not stopping.
hurricane here in Duckburg. Airplane.
Free me from this. This is my nightmare.
Don't remember the word.
What's the rest of it?
DuckTales. Woo.
Did you guys?
Something-
You guys know all of it. This is impressive.
If by all of it you mean vaguely some of it.
I'm
Dude, you
surprised
laid
that I got
that
enough
bass
of
line
it.
down thick. It's all over
Oh
the
man,
floor
that
in
was
here.
crunchy.
That was dirty.
That was a dirty bass line.
That was
Like,
dirty.
What can
if
you
that-
say? What can
if
I say?
that-
I'm trying to join Pentatonic, so I've
if
been
that
working on
bass
it.
line
good.
was a jar of peanut butter, oh man, it would be peanut butter crunchy.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you
That
think?
reminded. Well, you brought up Top Gun. I think the worst. I don't know what the best '80s song is. I think
yeah.
the worst '80s song in the world would have to be "Take My Breath Away." I don't know who sings it. But
Wait, that one from Top Gun?
Yeah. So when you brought up
yeah.
Top Gun, that's what it reminded me.
Okay, so we're back in the universe where
The
Top Gun
other
exists.
song.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back into Earth. I
It's
don't
good
know.
to be back.
Yeah. It feels good. It's colder here. But the every time I hear that song, like in like Walgreens or whatever, that banana, banana, I always think about, because in the 80s,
Tom
I don't
Cruise's
know.
lips.
Yeah, I think the makeout scenes in that movie are so violent that it like makes me start sweating in public just thinking about it. So every time I hear "Take My Breath Away," I'm afraid that like my mom is in the seat next to me watching the same movie.
So this is like a Pavlovian response.
maybe that's what it is.
It's like
I'm
you hear it and
classically
you just start sweating because of your conditioning.
Yeah, because I saw Top Gun for the first time like a year ago. And the thing I could not get over, I don't know what the plot was. I don't know what the characters were, what they were supposed to be doing. I just remember, wow, they used a lot of tongue in 80s movies. Like, they're not even using their mouths.
went at it.
They did. It's that. And the other thing
Tom
that's
Cruise is a pro.
he is. They also used that song like 9 times in that movie. So they were like, we get the one license. I'm like, we're getting the most out of what we did for it. So like in every other scene, it's banana, make out, banana, laying on the bed, banana. It's in every scene.
Well, what made me really uncomfortable was that I thought it was really inappropriate that they used it when the one guy died. Also, it was just like, yeah, I was
Definitely
already.
conflicting emotions for
Yeah,
sure.
you know, like I had this cemented in my mind.
We've
as,
already established
as-
the precedent.
as the smooch jam, and now like, are we imagining him just like his soul making out with the sky as he ascends? Because I'm kind of bummed out about
I get
this.
that. But I mean, if you have the license, you might as well stick it wherever it goes. Yeah. And there's also
got
that
it
really,
flying,
really weird key change in it. Whenever he's like going into, I don't remember what the movie's about, but he's like flying the plane.
It's about planes. That's
yeah,
it.
it's the
Jeremiah.
Tom Cruise being a go-getter.
Tom Cruise being a dick,
But
and
it does
flying
a-
a plane.
It does a weird key change in it that's always like the making out gets more aggressive, even if it's just the music. It's very surreal to me.
Dylan,
Wow, what?
what's the worst 80s song? You guys are in your head.
You scared me. You scared me.
I got really excited. I just wanted to hear your response. I trust your opinion, and I
So-
really want to know what you have to say.
I value you.
Wow, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I think, and so this is actually one that, like, and obviously all of these things we talk about are true, but this is like true, not a joke, not making it up.
Super true.
Super true. The worst 80s song that keeps getting stuck in my head is "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Astley.
For sure.
Yeah, which is the Rickroll song, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
And like the song itself, I don't love it, but I can't deny that it is supernaturally catchy.
That's
but
why it rolls so much.
Exactly
that's
like
why
that.
all these people are getting rolled on the street.
Exactly. So I'm like pointing at you very violently
You are,
for some
like,
reason. In your face.
You get me.
In your face. You get me. Okay,
Never
but
gonna
so
give you
what I would say is that the song itself is fine, but I honestly love the drum solo at the beginning, even though it's so cliche that like. And so every single time I do this drum solo, because like.
That moment between you two was probably my favorite thing that's ever happened to me, and I've been married. I think
I have had a wedding night experience.
Yes,
and that is the best thing.
you guys just came alive in this room.
We just danced our butts off.
I just wanted to lay the bass down
My
again.
heart started just pounding. That was crazy. The thing, whenever you did the do, that sounds just like In the Air Tonight.
Ooh, it does.
By Phil
Phil
Collins.
Collins.
Yeah. So like, why is Rickrolled so hated and that song is so loved?
Well,
obviously,
there's only one
both.
drum beat, really.
That's true.
I think they're both great drum fills. And obviously, In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins is a masterfully made song. I love
For
that
sure.
song. I've been Rickrolled so many times, and Rickrolling always starts with.
Yeah.
It's true.
It just feels like a negative experience now.
Whenever I think about that drum beat, I can't not sing the rest of it out loud.
Right.
To which everyone around me is like, "Why are you singing Rick Astley?" To which I'm like, "I don't know." It's my classical conditioning.
No, it's strange because like it makes you wonder like how many of the things that we hate do we hate it because the world around us like
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I listened to Everybody Hurts by REM in a non-ironic way.
Yeah.
Like has it ever been in a movie like genuinely? It's always like in some weird rom-com where the guy gets hit in the face by a pie and then it's like everybody hurts. It's never like, oh wow, this is such a tender song because it is. It's like the most like sappy, Michael Stipe's a genius. But like one person thought that would be funny and then like 10 other directors put that into a movie. Like I wonder if Rickroll if that song is actually pretty good. I don't know. I can't put my blinders on and
I used to, whenever I'd hear it as a kid, I always thought the lyrics were, then we're gonna give you up. Then we're gonna let you down. Then we're gonna run around and hurt you. And I was like, this song's so violent. This is awful. I hate this.
But yeah, hey Jeremiah.
Hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
You're in a band, right?
Great.
I'm in a band, technically.
Technically
I'm technically in a band.
So that means that you know about bands.
I know a couple.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what would you say, in your opinion, is the best band name
Oh my gosh.
that currently exists out in the world?
That doesn't narrow it down. There are so many bands. So like a band that actually exists?
Yeah, a band that actually
that
exists.
Okay. So many come to mind. But I think musicians by nature are lazy, and that's the most honest thing that they are. I think. So I think the best and laziest band
Can
name,
confirm.
Everyone around this table?
Yeah, for sure.
Please.
I think the best band name by its honest nature, and you can I can see the situation like the band.
Oh, the band. Oh,
The band.
The band.
Like, you have Bob Dylan on stage showing like when he goes electric and he's like changing the music as people know it, and then his band can't even come up with a title of what they do.
It's like, what should we call ourselves? We should call ourselves the band.
I don't even feel like it was that.
I can't think of anything better. Let's do it.
All right, guys, you're about to go on stage. What's your name? Isn't this what we have marketers for?
That's what I feel like it was. I feel like
Can
Bob
you do
was
one thing for me.
I feel like Bob was like, I'm about to play like
Bob,
a Rolling Stone.
First name's basis.
Yeah. So my boy Bob was up there. He's like, I'm about to play Rolling Stone. If you don't have a band name by the time I get back, it's over for you. And then they just like laid on the ground. They came back and they're like,
They laid on the ground.
We've done it. We had it the whole time. It's just the band. That's it.
Yeah. Or maybe it was the marketers, and the marketers they have this big brainstorming meeting, and you just see them with pitchers of alcohol, and they're like heads in their hands, and their heads are down.
And then the edgy young guy comes in.
No, I was gonna say their heads are down on the desks, and you see up on the whiteboard, and there's just the name The Band.
Yeah.
And nothing else. They're just like, we can't think of anything else.
And the hotshot young guy comes in and he's like smoking a Camel and looking real cool and thinking about the future. And just like, the band.
That's what, and then that's exactly why the band is the best band name in the world.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
The band is the best band name in the world.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good. I couldn't name it that.
I couldn't name it that. I honestly, I wouldn't be brave enough to name a band.
I think there are better bad names of bands than there are good names of bands.
Oh man, I got a few for you.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're ready.
Yeah, that's my whole life.
Yes.
That's a good bad band name. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good
So
one.
I was
Great band. I cannot get behind this name. Rick Wakeman, think for a second.
all right. I got a few.
Okay.
All right. So these are bad ones. These aren't the worst one.
Okay. These are just some bad. You're building
Some
us
bad
up.
ones. All right.
This, like
I'm already tense. I'm already hot, Dylan. Throw them out.
5 Finger Death Punch.
That's a bad one.
Solid bad band name.
The Butthole Surfers.
Not ideal.
No, that one's. I still like when you say Butthole Surfers. I'm like, oh, that is. It's terrible because then I start thinking about it. Yeah.
Hoobastank.
It's not a good one.
No. I still don't even know what it means.
Except for people who are like talking, they're like, any Hoobastank.
Oh, that's a good
great.
one. That's great.
But
nice dad joke.
The worst band name is definitely Chumbawumba.
Chumbawumba?
Chumbawumba, which is the band, the one-hit wonder band from the 90s that did Tub Thumpin'.
Yeah, Tub
Yeah.
Thumpin'.
Which is I get knocked down and I get up again.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
The song that's about peeing.
What?
There's the
No, it's about like
that song. I think maybe I'm wrong, but even in like in
it's about getting
parentheses,
knocked down.
Let me Google
and
it. Let me Google it.
Google it. That song is absolutely about urinating. Like, doesn't it list like a bunch of beverages?
Yeah, like halfway through the first verse, they're like, "Who drinks a whiskey drink? He drinks a vodka drink. He drinks a something drink."
Yeah,
would
and
make
then
it
he
for
gets
something
knocked down, keeping him from going to the bathroom.
What?
Isn't that what it is? Isn't that?
I did look it up, and
Wait, I'm on. Wait, it's not this, is it?
Because doesn't it say? Doesn't it? Isn't like the
I was
hook?
just listening to this
it's
earlier.
like they keep saying "pissing the night away."
the thing is that is the hook.
Yeah,
No.
like that's the hook of the song.
It is.
No.
It
It's
played
the-
that on radio. That's what it's because it says it like it's the little choir sings it in that
Yeah.
song. If it's the song I'm thinking of, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That is this song. That was on pop radio.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh my!
So if you think about it, that
my
song
God.
that you really, really like has been about your whole life's been a lie, man. I'm really glad you invited me to watch you fall to pieces. This is really good that I'm here for
It's
this.
really good to be here for your downfall.
Hey, at least
Dylan.
you heard it from a friend. Like if you think about it.
Hey guys, can we pause the episode for a second? I gotta go get some whiskey. I'll be right back. Just hold on.
All right, but you're gonna have to pee afterwards, and I don't have time for that. So
Be right back. Just gonna.
He gets a whiskey drink. He gets a vodka drink. There it is.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, good sound effect.
It's been fun.
yeah, that was some good.
This is an empty bottle.
It's such a bummer how empty that bottle is
There's
too.
some good Foley work there.
Man, I should really go into audio engineering.
But I remember thinking that song was really, really, really great. I just didn't understand why they would dedicate an entire song to just I need to urinate, but I can't.
I'm sure there's some deeper meaning to it that
But
we're
there's
just
also
not
like
getting.
the theory that he's urinating all night. Like what a weird health condition.
Be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
So
I get
yeah.
But what was that? Chumbawumba?
Chumbawumba.
Chumbawumba.
It's not a great band name.
That song is called Tub Thumping.
Tub thumping.
Yeah.
Tub thumping.
Do you got any other ones, Drew? I feel like you like talking about bad band names.
Well, this one, I'm gonna preface. This isn't a bad band name. I like this band name, but I think I could punch it up a bit. I got some pointers for it, and since it's not the best it could be, that means it's the worst.
Oh, wow, that's
I
theoretical.
got some tips, got some ideas here.
Why are you pointing
And
at Jeremiah?
No
right
offense, but the band name is Oh Jeremiah.
Now? Oh no!
Wow, what a low key burn to bring me to make me drive from Chicago just to take a crap on
well,
my
that's the
band
thing
name.
is we actually asked you to come on because we were like, oh god, this.
We gotta fix this.
All right,
Wow,
I got some ideas, and there's only one way I know how to put the ideas forward.
No, this is
so.
great. Like the
Yeah.
letter to the editor. Just go ahead and just
And it's
hand it to him.
it's minimal, so like this isn't gonna hurt your.
Oh, so you're literally about to like help build the brand.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's not
great.
gonna hurt your SEO at all. It's gonna be great.
Okay,
so
awesome.
right now, the band name's Oh Jeremiah.
Okay.
That's great. That's stellar. Here's the thing. It sounds like the answer to a question I have not yet asked.
Oh, nice.
Just like,
Like-
oh, who's coming over tonight?
Oh, Jeremiah.
That's I guess that is a room temperature thing. How can we make this better?
Here's
then?
my recommendation.
Okay, I like it.
We ask the question in the name, and we knock it out right there. Who? Jeremiah.
Oh, so you okay?
So you're like the answer to your own band name.
Yeah, you put up on the poster and it's like, who's playing? Who? Oh, Jeremiah.
That is oh wait, so it would be who ? Oh, Jeremiah.
We can do it that way too.
And then there would need to be a period because now we're having a conversation within the band name. I think.
Oh, but then it's like who ?
Oh, comma.
No, it's O period. Jeremiah.
Oh. No,
just be like a disappointed
Jeremiah.
Who ?
Disappointed O.
Oh, Jeremiah.
There we go.
What's the most boring punctuation mark? Because that needs to be at the end.
The whale emoji.
A colon?
Yeah, the whale.
The whale.
Okay, so is that your only idea?
Oh yeah, that's great. If you if either of you, wow, I went into an accent there. If either of you have any things you want to add to that, but that's my idea.
No, I think that's good.
No, I think that's solid. I will talk to my wife about it.
I think that's really good, and I think it's a lot easier to type out too.
I think you're wrong. I think that's way more complicated. And we have a weird thing where people don't know, and it's to the point now that we don't even know what the punctuation of our band is. So we don't know if we're asking a question, if we're exclaiming, if we're just declaring it. We don't really know. We're kind of soul searching to figure out what kind of punctuation we would be if we were punctuation.
Yeah, and that's actually what this current tour is about. Is like by the end of it, it's a search where
you're asking a survey at the end of every single show.
Oh, for sure. We ask
you're like passing out pieces of paper like, how do you spell our name? And
it's remarkable how much it turns people off. Like whenever we ask people those questions, it's remarkable how little they want to answer them.
And I also like
an exit interview.
I like the idea that people are like uncertain how to spell your name too, to the point where you are now.
Yeah,
and you're just like, I don't know.
I don't even know anymore. Like my favorite wrong way to say "Oh Jeremiah." Someone put because it's sometimes it's "Oh comma Jeremiah," sometimes it's "Oh." Exclamation point Jeremiah. Sometimes it's the reverse. But my favorite, we got put into a newspaper as Old Jeremy, which was my favorite.
Is that a true story?
That is a true story.
How do you? You can't make that up.
No, you can't. It was my favorite because that means that the person interviewing us was so bored they didn't even care to fact check.
For what it's worth, Old Jeremy sounds like the band that would open for Shaky Graves. So maybe that's your way into that market.
Sounds more like a missed opportunity than a hope you feel better, but. Yeah, that's no. The other thing is we have a lot of. I don't think I've ever had a show where there's not like the dad in the audience that's like, "Oh, Jeremiah, get it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've never."
You just said the name.
Yeah, you just said it.
You
weirdly.
didn't make a punchline.
Yeah, you just demanded my attention as you said my band name. It's weird. Well, the other thing is everyone's like, "Oh, is she the O?" And my wife is always like, "That's not funny. Stop saying it to me." It's always
no. I'm Jeremiah. That was sexist. Dunked on. Oh.
And I think on that note,
take that, idiots.
We are gonna end it there.
Awesome.
Oh, I love it. Dude, it has been fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. One last high five.
It has been fantastic having you on.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having me. This was great.
Do you want to have? Do you got anything you want to plug?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we just my wife and I just released our debut album. It's called The Other End of Passing Time. Mm-hmm. It was produced by Sam Kassir in Maine. And we were really, really stoked about it. And we have some really bizarre music videos that we're really, really proud of.
Nice,
like one where my famous green... It's not famous. It's just I've had it since the 8th grade, so it's famous to me.
It's famous now. It's part of your brand, and
we'll call it Family Famous.
Yeah, wow, nice. That's the band name.
So I will do my part to make this famous, where I'm going to refer to it as such.
Oh, great. Okay, so now it is newly famous. This green jacket gets stolen by a magician, and it's like just the weirdest use of time and money that two people can do together. So I love it. You can go check that song is Tremble, and then we have like other songs. And we're also going to be going on tour a little bit. If you just like find our website, you can keep up with us. Mm-hmm. We're in Nashville pretty regularly, and we're going to be going nonstop. So
awesome. Where can they find you?
ojeremiahmusic.com. Or like any other internet thing. We're on everything, just like everyone else is.
Wherever fine social medias are found.
Yeah. So that's where you can find us. And we're also going to be starting a web series pretty soon. That's going to be kind of like a look into what it's like being married and a musician all the time. So,
I love it.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, everyone go and like, follow, favorite, etc. all of his stuff so that you can be up to date on that little mini series that they're going to be putting out. Go watch those music videos. For us, go like us on Facebook. Go follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at worstpodever. And send us your questions.
Yeah. quick shout out. Actually, our band name one was a question by my dear friend Erin Borzak, who's great. Just check her out on Instagram. Erin. So another E at the beginning, Elise with another E at the end.
Yeah.
Nice. My wife's name is Erin.
Oh, it works out.
Yeah.
So ask us questions. Use the hashtag WTEPod. WTEPod. Or if you're Twitterless, just email us at worstthingeverpodcast.
Or just shout into the
at
ether.
gmail.com.
I'm usually hanging out there, so I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah, shouting at the ether. That's how I got onto this podcast in your yard.
Or tweet at Jeremiah questions for us. He'll let us know,
Yeah, I'll be your middleman from here on out. Like I'll sign whatever piece of paper I need to. Like anything to keep this going. I'm into it.
I love it. All right, guys, it's been fun. I'm your best friend Dylan.
Your worst friend Drew.
I just showed up.
All right, we'll see you guys later.